Boom, you know what it is. Bodega Boys in the building. We're coming to you live from Cam Kirk Studios, and we're
Atlanta.
You know the vibes.
With the one and only Missy
Elliott. Nothing but
I
iconic
thought you was
guests.
be doing your steps at the door.
Oh, stop! I can't listen. I got bad ligaments.
He fell. We climbed the gate yesterday.
Get to Waffle House. I tried to jump a fence and I busted my ass.
Yeah.
That's
But we never been to Waffle House before. That was our first time
Never
last
been to
night.
Waffle House?
And we got there. We were like trying to get alcoholic drinks, and apparently you can't get alcoholic drinks there.
Oh,
so.
that Waffle House.
Yeah. Is that like? Apparently Waffle House is like a regular thing down here. Like.
Well, see, I'm from Virginia.
Right.
So.
Do they have Waffle Houses down there?
We got Waffle House, IHOP, Shoney's.
Wow.
Captain D's.
What's the power rankings of all of them?
Because people are saying Waffle House is the top, but that's if you're drunk.
They're talking about
They
it's called
Waffle
Waffle
Home.
Home.
Now, see, I used to smoke, so back when I used to smoke, either one of them was fine with me.
That's why we went.
That's why I hopped the fence in Montclair to get to Waffle House.
Might have like a little whipped cream, a little funny face pancake.
Yeah, they was a little bit more diverse.
You want to get exotic, you be like, yo, let me get a crepe.
Also, it's international. I go coast to coast to get boysenberry.
Yes.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
How you doing today, Missy?
I'm good. I'm
Do you
blessed.
really have a misdemeanor?
No. Nah.
Boom, mystery solved. There you go.
Wow, thank you. That's the whole interview right there.
Magoo, big shout out to Magoo. He gave me that name.
Yeah, so you've been in countless studio sessions.
Yes.
You brought up a lot of artists, put a lot of people on. What is one of your favorite studio sessions?
It's hard to say my favorite, but the first studio session was Master Sound. And then I would have to say Hit Factory, because that's where I used to hang out with Jodeci and Mary. And so those
Iconic.
was
What were those days like?
Party days. We dodged the internet.
Yeah.
Thank God social media was not out. Those was the get down days. Like we really, those days, yeah.
She looked at the side she's like, you know what? Shit was going down. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we had a ball, but I would say Master Sound first.
So you took a break for a minute.
Yeah.
And then you came back, and everybody was like, yo, Missy back. Yo, how did that feel? Because a lot of artists take a break and they come back, and it's just like, But you came back, and it was just like, yo.
Yeah, it was a big thing on Twitter.
The love always is gonna be, I'm just always like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm always humble and grateful. Yeah, and it's not a easy thing when you've been in the industry that long.
Yeah.
When you talking about like 24, 25 years.
And having success, though, because there's a lot of in the industry for 30 years. And he's still like, yo, volume 38, you know what I'm saying? Clapping.
Yo, new mixtape dropping on Monday.
You know what I'm saying? SoundCloud link in bio.
Yo, I got 38 links, I'm gonna drop the drop.
Yes, but it's good because it's like, when you see somebody like a Shaka Khan come in, she don't always get that respect.
Who were some of your inspirations growing up? Because your music is like, even when it first came out, it was like, not to say modern, but it was like futuristic, and it was completely, and it's always sounded different.
Well, my inspiration came from, I listened to Shaka Khan, Prince, Michael, of course. But I think when me and Timbaland came out, we were under Jodeci, and so we didn't get a chance we didn't listen to a lot of music. Like, we only just listened to what we were doing. So we didn't know that we even had a different kind of sound. Because we didn't see nor hear, we created something without knowing it.
And like this bubble, and y'all just working, and then you come out and you're like, everybody's like,
and we
it's delicious.
we like, what? Because we have been doing what the world had heard for years before. So probably like 3-4 years before, that was the same sound that we had before. And so when it came out and people was like, what is this? And people, I don't know if people knew whether to like it immediately. It was like seeing The Rain, the video, and then it kind of like connected, like, okay, maybe I could like this.
I remember Because in New York we had the box. You remember that? It was like this channel you call and you have to pay to view
Yes,
the videos.
I remember the box.
And then, but it was weird because if you didn't have cable, that was the only way to watch videos.
Yes.
And when the rain came on, we was like, yo, what? Like, imagine us in the Bronx, like. Yo,
Every music video we've seen up until this point is dudes like, yo, stamping with the Timberland and the shit.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? Pouring out some Hennessy.
Word God, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. And then you came out with the suit and everything. I was like, yo.
That was a whole team. You know, they had called, the label called Hype Williams.
Shout out to Hype,
Yes, Hype, amazing. And they called him and he listened to my music and he got with June and Billy B and you know just the whole team, and they felt like the music was so futuristic, and he was like, you know, you just got a different vibe about you, and you know I'm thinking about like Michelin Man or something like that, and because I was so crazy anyway, it wasn't like we wasn't in an era where people were trying to look fly. It was originality, whatever, because I felt like if I wanted to do something, I wanted to be where you couldn't say there was a Missy Elliott before a Missy Elliott.
You have a lot of cars and a lot of sneakers?
Yes.
How many sneakers you got? Because I have a sneaker room, but I'm pretty sure you're about to crush me with the sneaker collection.
I have a warehouse of sneakers.
Missy, it was good talking to you. That's the life. I'm out of here. She said I have a sneaker warehouse.
Jump out the window like, all right, peace, y'all.
You just like stomped them on trees. How many sneakers we talking?
If you think of a warehouse, wall to wall, side by side.
All right. What brand do you have the most sneakers?
Yeah, I have a lot of old Jordans.
Yeah.
A lot of Adidas. You know, because I was with them for a long time.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of Adidas, but now every color of Chain Reactions there is.
This is the part I'm gonna stop in the conversation because I can't relate. This is the Versace report.
Every color.
Yeah, if this is Star Wars right now, this is Obi-Wan Kenobi putting me onto the Versace drip.
No.
Sensei, how do I achieve the drip level that you have achieved?
No. Look, your sneakers nice and clean.
The sneakers are nice and clean.
Yes.
But
nice
if we're doing a live show or something, he always comes out heavy with the Versace.
Yeah, I have to.
How many pairs you think you got?
Not a warehouse. You know what I'm saying? My voice is getting high pitched because I'm about to play myself. A couple dozen. You know what I'm saying? Maybe.
That's still
You said
good.
you have hundreds of these?
Oh,
Versaces?
I
just started getting money though. You've been doing this. I
True.
just started getting money.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? I might
It's
catch
all right.
up
It's
one
all
day.
right. It's all right.
I'll catch up.
It's all right, big man. Let that pain out. Let that pain out, big man.
Don't speak that. You will catch up. Trust me. Trust me.
Because
I was over on the other side watching other people drive around and fly cars, and I said, one day
I'm gonna get that.
I'm gonna get that.
What was the first big purchase you did that you was like, this is unnecessary. I'm wasting money, but you know what? I want this.
It wasn't the first purchase I made wasn't a waste, but it was the first check that I got. I got my mother a house built from ground up.
And that's hard to do. That's hard to do.
I know some of my parents are like, oh, Missy, good girl. Oh, she's a good girl.
Before I got my house,
home training.
Got her house ground up.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh.
I want to do that. My wife was like, hell no. She's like, yo, we're moving into a house that's already built.
Oh.
She's like, because when you build a house from the ground up, you really got to be in there. Like,
it's
I
a lot.
want this like this. I want this like that. Like,
It's a lot. Well, the first thing I did was I had a Bible placed in the soil, and then covered up. And so when you walk in, I put my signature in the floor.
Just to let mom know one time. Like, yo,
like you walked
got
on.
this.
I like that. I'm writing this down like, watch, we'll do the same thing.
I did the same thing, but I fixed the sidewalk in front of my mom's house and I wrote my name in graffiti. Like, yo,
You know what?
I paid for this.
So you came up before social media.
Yes.
How do you think your career would have been different if social media was around at the time when you were like just getting into the industry? Because like, as you said, like now everything gets revealed. People always tweeting stuff. People always like
photographing people on the low.
Also just having that instant criticism from fans and just like.
Luckily, I have my assistant over there. She always,
She got you.
cheerleader. Yeah, she be like,
Yeah, Exactly. You need someone like that.
Like, you been hot. I'm like, you sure?
And it's like some 14-year-old somewhere. Like, also, what broke my heart the other day was there was a tweet and someone was like, "Yo, if you reverse what Missy says, it's like she just reversed the tape." I was like,
Y'all didn't.
that made me feel old. That really, I was like, wow.
And they starting to do it, like, and I'm like, yo, this is 18 years ago. 18 years ago. Y'all just putting this on TikTok
No.
and reversing this?
Is there one song that just is just your song?
The cheat code.
That you're just like, yo, this
As soon as
song-
the beat drop, crowd go crazy, tearing, throwing chairs, wilding.
Oh.
For me, that would be Hot Boys.
You know what? The Hot Boys is one of my favorite, and I always tell people that Hot Boys, they, actually it had got a bad call out, and so the radio stations started taking it off, but it ended up turning around, and it ended up being in the Guinness World Book of Records. Out of all my records, beat all of my other records. It ended up being number one for 18 weeks.
Like, we know musicians and stuff, and so the problem nowadays is like you'll work like 2 years making an album. It comes out and then 30 seconds in and it's like, this is garbage.
Right.
What is it like to
I'm like, how did you do that? I just this
Like, you literally could not hear the whole
The
album.
album was an hour and a half long.
How you calling it a flop already? But what's it like to like create something, a song like that, and then going through that motion of it wasn't accepted at first and then having to come back? What is that whole experience like?
That experience felt crazy when, because me and Tim, we thought that record was fire. And it was like, are you kidding me?
The whole hood thought it was fire.
And then, one radio station led to another, so they started taking it off. And
Right.
then something happened and it was like, see, I told you, I knew it. Like, I knew this was the lick.
When you were doing these songs, was it like, yo, I am an icon, I'm a legend, I'm banging these out? Or was it just like, yo, I'm just making music?
just
I'm
doing
just
what I
making
do.
music the whole time. Somebody they asked me when did I feel like I had made it, and I was like, probably just now.
Yeah.
Like, that time of all these years, I just been doing music.
Yeah.
And never thought about it. But last year, the ending kind of like a last year, and I got some news today that I can't say, but it's making me like
Do a little.
feeling myself a little bit. I make music every day, every day. I mean, that ain't saying every joint hot. I got a lot of black male joints in there that if they ever came out, my career probably would be over.
Yeah.
But I make music every day.
Artists and creative people, like, everybody's different. But like, do you wake up in the morning and just be like, you hear something in your head, like, or you hear a melody? Like, how does a song come about for you? You know what I'm saying?
I hear stuff all the time. Like, if we sit here long enough and it's quiet, I'm gonna hear something.
Like a little spring or some shit.
Something's
Like,
gonna make you like, yo, that could be it.
Something. And that comes from, Timbaland and myself back then, just making music with spoons.
baby noises.
Yeah.
I watched him make a snare with a ceiling fan.
Wow. Yo.
Yeah. So, because we didn't have like everything at our fingertips at that time. So, it was whatever we could get our hands on. Because a lot of times the songs that y'all hear now, they were created after and sung over just probably 2 sounds. So he may do a kick and one noise, and then I'll create a song, and then he'll put all the other music.
Wow.
What is in the water? What is in the air in Virginia?
In the
You know what
water,
I'm saying?
something
You
in
got
the water.
You, Timbaland,
Pharrell,
Pharrell,
Allen
Chad
Iverson.
Hugo,
Everybody.
everybody's coming out of
Chris,
me.
Trey.
Everybody.
I want to make sure Bink,
Yeah.
Lex, Drama. It's a lot of talent in Virginia. I don't know.
Just
The positioning of the state, like you kind of like up here.
y'all
down
above
there,
Florida,
like-
y'all below.
Well, we all had to create our own sound too, because we I felt like we were getting stuff late. Like, New York, by the time we got stuff, when Eric B and Rakim came out with something, by the time they came out with their second single, we was just getting the first single.
One.
And so we were late getting a lot of stuff. And I felt like we created, once again, just because we wasn't on time with everything, that we started creating different sounds. And even, Pharrell with the Neptunes sound, I just... And the great thing about what we always did, we always encouraged each other, because we always listened to the Neptunes, and even though we always from Virginia, like, yo, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And, that he would do the same for us. And so I don't know what it is.
Shout out to the VA.
VA. Two
VA
up, two down.
You know the
Two up,
vibes.
two down. Oh,
All right.
y'all know that.
Usually don't try to get super personal, but your nails, ma'am. Could you just hold them up to the camera, please?
Like, yo, nail cam, we out here.
Like, how long? I don't know anything about nails, but
How long
this
does
whole
this
interview,
take?
I'm like, it's shining. Like, how long did that take?
Like 4 hours.
Like 4 hours?
Yes.
And you got the patience to just be like,
You just be sitting there like,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
How
I be
often-
watching ID.
I'll be on the couch like, he put him in a trash bin.
I was like, nah, it was a wife. It was a wife. Did
It really be. It really make you think like, yo, it's some crazy people out here. It's like always this man voice is always real scary. Then I go in the house, start locking up stuff. I'm looking around, I'm looking outside. So I don't know why I watch it, because I don't do nothing but scare myself. It's crazy. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you ever come with an idea that you were like, yo, you were wildin'?
Well, the funny thing when we did She's a I remember Puff calling me like, yo, Money, you're wildin' right now. Like, he was really mad.
He was a
Yo,
brother love
Money,
back
what
then.
is you on right now? Like, what is you doing? Like, I was like, yeah. And so, probably when I got a chance to look back at Get Your Freak On. And I seen the head come out, and I was like,
What about you?
You were just like, I was a lot.
Yeah, I was wildin'. Was I wildin'? I was wildin'.
And I was like, but everything kind of, when I look back at it, is one of those risk-taking moments. But I love it though.
Yeah, and it worked out for you.
Yeah.
Definitely. If there is one thing you've learned in your career that you could tell the younger version of yourself, what would it be?
Just keep being yourself, unique, and continue to work as if you're trying to shop a demo. That has always been my thing.
Yeah.
Is never get lazy and lackadaisical. Always work like you trying to get a deal.
Right, like it's your first dog.
Yes.
Nice. Wow, drop that knowledge. Came through with the drip, came through with the nails, the resume. Yo, give it up for Missy.
Elliott, y'all.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Thank y'all. I had a lot of fun.
Oh my God.
Oh man,
Yes,
they gonna be
yes.
mad at me at Versace now.
I got a lady for you at the
Atlanta joint?
Yeah.
The blessings. The
Oh,
blessings come in.
That's when the blessings come
The
in.
blessings come in.
She'll hook you up. And she'll make sure you get first dibs on everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
You gotta have the money though.
Oh yeah. I
Make
got
sure.
But not before me though, because I don't want you rocking the joint.
See? Now you gotta work. Now you're like, yo. I don't want to get that
No,
threatening
but she
phone call
good.
like, yo, this is Missy. What's Mero wearing?